regulations, but there also exist gaps. So how do we begin to address these gaps, like reaching out to people through the subnationals, through the local governments, to bring them on board? Because, like we say, the capital market is the engine room, the lubricant of the economy, and with a population of 250 million Nigerians. Yeah. What, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's the percentage of people who even know or are aware of investment in the stock market? And we shouldn't also forget the cultural barriers. Yes. There. Let's get, yes.
Before I even speak to that, permit me to say that the markets, just as he rightly said, in 2024, did well against all odds. Against all odds. If you look at our ranking in Africa, we were the third. The best performing stock market in Africa happens to be Ghana. The Ghana's stock exchange recorded year-to-date return of 56%. The second was Zambia. The Lusaka exchange posted about 44%. Nigeria, we recorded 37.7%, so we're number 3. Fourth position was by Nairobi, and the fifth one was BRVM, the exchanges for WEMU, the West African Economic Monetary Union. Okay, so we did well. And if you look at also the performance of our markets, if you compare us with other emerging markets, frontier and emerging markets, you also find that we are tops. We are tops. Because if you look at what the average was for if you use the MSCI index, you look at the average, it was just like 7%. Okay, but we did 37.7. And again, just as you rightly said, we had a whole lot of activities in the market last year. The primary wing of the markets, the primary markets, where we have, we experienced new issues, was also, somewhat active. We saw a number of companies come to list. Transcorp Power was listed sometime in March last year. Aradel, to another energy company, also listed in October. So between the two of them, they added market cap of over 5 trillion. So such that today, market capitalization, has increased to as much as 62 trillion, naira. And he also mentioned the issue of banking sector recapitalization. That also helped to turbocharge, the market. A number of companies did well. So when we say average was 37.7, there were companies that even posted 800 and over 800% return. A good example is Sony Assurance. Okay, it started at just 1 naira, January. By end of December, it was already at 7 naira. So we had other ones like that. Owando, you can mention Owando. You can mention, even Boa, and a couple of others, that did well. So the market overall, against all odds, did well. And we were also saying the contribution to GDP. If you look at GDP performance last year, third quarter, the latest results we have now is third quarter of 2024, right? GDP grew by 3.46%. If you disaggregate the growth rate, you will see that the financial services sector, where the stock market belongs, grew by over 30%. So, and of course, the banking sector dominates that sector, and we have the banks listed on the exchange. Okay, the SEC is a secondary regulator, to the banks. So the financial sector has been, there to help, pull the economy, from the doldrums, and through this intermediation, process. So you can't take that out. So the financial sector has been contributing to the growth of the economy. Now, whether the impact is not so much felt, it's largely because, again, of the fact that if you look at the size of the market relative to the size of the economy, it is small. Okay, we say, if you look at it today, I've mentioned 62 trillion as a market cap, right? For equities alone, equity is 62 trillion. Okay, the total GDP of the country, I was checking the trading economics data. GDP of Nigeria, $362 billion. You have 60 trillion market cap. If you convert that to dollars, if you use 1,530, you get like $40 billion. Okay, 40 billion on 362 will give you less than 12%. So the equities market to GDP is less than 13%. We have a capital market master plan that is targeting 20% to GDP. And the interesting thing, with what is happening now, with the rebasing of GDP that is happening now, once GDP is rebased now, that share will now further drop. So the size of the market to GDP is small. That's why you can't find, even if the market is doing well, you really cannot see the impact. So for you to see the impact, we also need to grow the market. And one way by which we can grow the market is to also encourage more companies to come and participate, come and list, especially small and medium enterprises.